Okay, so let's just go into the session. So what is algebra? Well, algebra is actually known as a branch of mathematics, okay, a path of mathematics where letters are used to represent numbers in expressions, formula, and equations. Okay, there is no need for you to take down the notes. If you would like, you could print screen, all right, or at the end of the session, I will put the recording link up on the website so you can access it anytime. Yeah, so not to worry, just sit, focus, listen. If there are questions, do feel free to unmute yourself and ask me. Okay, so well, I think after going through a few lessons of algebra in school, you roughly understand algebra has not just numbers, but it has got letters as well. Sometimes it has certain symbols, and that's what may sometimes complicate things. Okay. So let's take a look and see what algebraic expressions look like. So if I were to give you a very simple and relatable example, Ming Ming is 10 years old. Now, how old was he 2 years ago? Let's have some participation.
He was 8 years.
He was
8 years old.
Okay, so how would you get that?
I just take 10 years old minus 2 years
Yes, 10 years minus 2 years, and we get 8 straight
equals
away.
to 8.
Yes, okay. So this would be something like a primary school kind of question. And when if we were to move one step towards algebra, I will ask you then, how old was he X years ago? So instead of the number 2, now I'm going to change it to a letter X.
X, no, it's 10 minus X, right?
10 minus X, yes. So you realize that in place of the number 2, I'm going to put down the letter X. Okay? So this is the bare basic of algebraic expressions. Now, and how old will he be in 3 years' time? Now I'm going to switch from X to numbers back again.
I will take 10 minus X plus 3.
Wait, what?
Okay, that is now his age is 10, right? So in 3 years' time, we don't count backwards, isn't it? We count from the time when he's 10 years old.
Teacher, so is it 13?
It's 13 actually, yes, because now he's 10. So 3 years' time will be 3 years from 10 years old. Okay, so that would be 10 plus 3. That would be 13. Yeah. And lastly, how old will he be in X years' time? So I'm changing the number 3 to Y. So if I replace 3 by Y, it will be 10?
10 plus
10
Y.
plus Y, yes. Okay. Now you realize something quite different between my first and third answers compared to the second and fourth answers. You realize that for my first and third answers, the answers are in numerical form, right? And how come my second and my fourth answer has got letters in there and there's no value to it?
That's an algebraic expression.
Yes, algebraic expression means that the letter can take on any number.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so that is the biggest difference. We're going to move on. Any questions from here?
No.
No, okay,
No.
great. Okay, that's good. So X and Y are the unknowns and they can be replaced with any value, any number.
But then there is also A and B also.
Yes. So you're right. We can also use other letters. So which are the more common letters used? You're mentioning A, B. Any more common letters?
C, right? C.
Okay, C. Which are
D also sometimes.
X and Y.
X and Y? Yes. Okay. Yeah. As mentioned over there, X and Y. Z. Yes. Any letter that is avoided.
D.
Means what?
Avoided. That means usually we don't use them.
Oh.
D.
D. Why?
I don't know because I never see them in the problems.
Okay. Usually, I see. Usually, letters that are avoided are the ones that will confuse us with certain other symbols or certain numbers. Like for example, one letter that is usually avoided is the letter I. because it could look like 1. Okay, and in maths, right, I, in a cursive way, if it's written this way, I is referred to as imaginary numbers. So we don't want to confuse,
I do not know what
yeah,
I do not know what
any,
is
you're right, yeah, any more letters that are usually avoided. How about O? What does it look like?
oh, 0.
Like 0, right? Yeah. So imagine if you have an answer with O, wow, I think it's very hard.
Teacher, but
Mm.
then these are also a Z my
Mm.
my my also
Mhm.
may also look like a 2.
Okay, you're right. Z looks like 2.
Okay.
So what I did was when I wrote down Z on the top line, you realize, okay, this is
How
Z.
about L?
L, yes. L sometimes avoided. Z, we know it to be written this way, but sometimes to differentiate it from number 2, there is a line written in the middle. So when you do see this, this is actually letter Z. Okay, this is Z. And how about L? Okay, just now Sharon was saying L. L sometimes is being used, and when it's being used, usually it's in a small letter in a cursive format like this. But of course, you know, L looks like what? Liters, right? So sometimes it might not be used widely as well. Okay. Okay, so yep, we're going to move on. So we'll move on to the next part where we talk about substitution. And substitution is the replacement of unknowns by values. Okay, so you actually attach a number to it. Let's take a look. Okay, so these are some examples. Find the value of the following. And this time round, they gave you A equals to 4. So every time you see the letter A, what do you need to do? You will have to replace it with
Teacher, so but then the thing is that the first one is it the
Mhm.
same?
The first one, is it the same? Okay, let's see. For the first question, it says 15 plus A. So instead of writing down A, what can I replace my A with now?
14?
Let's come back to the question. A equals to 4. So yes, every time I see the letter A, I'm going to put the number 4 down. So it will be 15
Plus
plus
4
4. Okay.
equals
And
19.
that will be 19. Now, if you do find that adding this is even challenging, okay, there are some students who find such questions challenging. We always have calculator to help us. Okay, so you can always use your calculator, press down whatever you see in the expression, and you will get the answer.
Ada susunod.
Okay, so if any of you have just joined us, do get ready your stationery, paper, and calculator. We'll be doing a lot of questions along the way.
Teacher,
Yeah.
then the thing is also right. So it's 4 to the power of 3, is that?
4 to the power of 3. Okay, perhaps let's take a look at the second question, right? You're looking at that. Okay, so for second question, you have A and with a 3 on top. This is read as A to the power of 3. Okay.
So is it 4 times 4 times 4, right?
You're right. Yeah. So if you were to look at the notes at the bottom, the speech bubble at the bottom, it says note that A with a 2 on top, that's A squared, is A times A, which means 4 times 4 in this case. And A cubed would be 4 times 4 times 4. So how would we put it using in a mathematical form? It would be 4 with a 3 on top, right? And minus half.
Sorry.
Now, we could work 4 to the power of 3 using a calculator, or if you are able to multiply it mentally, do so as well. Anyone has difficulty using the calculator to come up with 4 to the power of 3?
Not me.
Anyone?
Me.
Yes, okay. So if you do have a scientific calculator, okay, this kind, I'm not sure whether yours is similar. Okay, so on the calculator, what I would press would be, so I will press, yes, that's right, the number 4, okay, and then the next number that I'm going to press would be this button at the top half of the calculator with an X and a small square on top. Do you find it? Okay, then that will give you power, and thereafter insert the number 3 into the small square. You should be able to get 4 to the power of 3.
But then they said there's already a
Mm.
together.
Okay, do you get a number? Oh, okay. Ken,
Mine's
thanks, Shana. So if you do have calculator with this sign, you could press it as well. Yeah. So 4 to the power of 3 would give you 64. Okay, and we take away half from there. That would be 63 and a
And a
half.
half.
Yes,
Can we write 63.5?
you are right. That's fine as well. So 63.5. Okay, both answers are acceptable. Now let's take a look at the next one, 3a squared. So how does 3a squared play out if we were to write it down? That would, you see, when we have the number and the letter together. Okay, do we put it something like that?
No, you have to multiply it.
Yes, when a letter and a number are side by side, they are being multiplied. So if you could put the multiplication sign,
then 2.
okay, or
Then it's
you could do it another way. You could write it like this, 3. Okay, instead of multiplication sign, we could put a bracket.
Oh yeah, which I
like this.
about that. That's my teacher.
So that's good. So either way is fine. And using the calculator, you could press either and you would get the answer. So that would give you 48.
Yeah, but then can I write this one down?
Sorry?
Can I write this one down?
Sure, you can write either.
Okay.
Yeah, because both gives you the same answer, isn't it? If there's any question, do stop me. All right. If not, we could move on to the next one. 20 out of A. So this is a fraction. Instead of A, we are going to replace it with 4. So this looks like 20 divided by 4.
Equals to 5.
Equals to 5, yeah. So every time we see this fraction sign,
Divide.
this is division, yeah. Good, that's 5. Okay, so I think no problem. I'm going to move on. Next, now I'm going to change A to 2. The value of A is 2 now. So every time we see the letter A, we are going to replace it by the number 2. And you can see that. Oh, no worries. You can go back to the recording later. Okay. Yeah, if not, I don't think we might have the time to finish everything. We have quite a number of things to go through. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at question 5 now. 2a plus 4 out of 7. So instead of A, I'm going to put 2 in the bracket.
Wait, so isn't it 2 times 2, right?
Yes. So this portion here refers to 2 times 2. It will be best if you could put a bracket around it before you put the plus 4 down. Why I say so is that in case it's another kind of question, and due to the different operation, sometimes order of operation may cause the calculator to calculate something else first if you don't put the bracket. So it's always safer to put the bracket in. Okay, so let's input all the values into the calculator. Anyone has issues putting everything down like that in the calculator?
No.
Okay, so what's the numerator?
Sure, but then they said 100 is 8 over 7, right?
It's 8 over 7. Did everyone else get 8 over 7?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, okay, that's good.
1 whole and 1 over 7.
Okay, so there's 8 over 7 and you can change it to a mixed number. Yeah. Do you know how to change an improper fraction into mixed number using calculator?
Shift, then press the S to D.
Yes, yes.
Very easy.
Very easy, yeah. Okay, so shift S to D. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. So 9 minus A out of 2. So we replace the A with the number 2. I think we could work this out without a calculator. So numerator 9 minus 2, 7, right? And denominator 2. Okay, so let's convert this into a mixed number.
We'll get 3 whole 1/2.
3.5. That's good. Okay, and the last question here, 12 out.
But then the days that your question number 6, right? But then the days that your 2 looks like a Z, you know.
Okay. So as I was explaining earlier in the earlier slide, when there is a Z, most people would write a line across. Yes. Okay. If not, it would be 2. Yeah. Okay. So for the last question, 12 out of 8A. So 12 out of 8, instead of A, I'm going to write the number 2. So this would be 12 out of
16.
16. And is this our final answer?
No, you have to simplify it.
Yes, simplify. So we could divide both sides by 4.
4,
Right.
yeah. 3:4.
Okay. I think I'll pause here for a while in case you need to take it down. AP, Kaden and Jordan, you're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, that's great. Okay, let me know when you are done and we can move on.
I'm done.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a look. So now we want to learn how to form algebraic expressions. So we have to look out for words that will give us a clue on whether it is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So perhaps before I even move on to the next slide, can I hear from each one of you? What words would give you a hint as to adding? You know, adding different terms together.
The same variable.
Okay, the same. Okay, is there a particular phrase that, you know, when it pops up in a question, you know straight away that it's about addition? Let me give you an example. Let's say if you come across the sum of, okay? So perhaps the word sum would remind you that you have to add. Any other phrases would remind you of addition?
Sum.
Okay, other than sum? Maybe put together.
Put together. Add.
Okay, add.
Group them together.
Group them. Okay, grouped.
Group them, then use the multiplication.
It depends on how the question is phrased. Yeah, group can be multiplication, can be addition, can be division. Yeah, if it's unequal number of objects grouped together, it'll be like put together. Okay, so group can be a bit vague in that sense. Yeah, it really depends. Okay, any other words that associate addition? If not, we could move on to subtraction.
There's nothing else.
Okay, subtraction, perhaps
Take them away.
take away. All right.
I better mute myself first.
Any more?
Subtract.
Okay, subtract.
That's all.
Okay, multiplication or division, anyone?
Multiply.
Yes, multiply.
Add them together.
Add them together. Okay, perhaps not so much of multiplication, right? How about the word product? Come across it before?
Yeah.
Times of, how many times of so and so? How about division?
Colon.
Sorry? Quotient, is it? Is it the word quotient? Yes, quotient. That's right. Of course, there is a divide. Any more?
Remainder.
Okay, yes, remainder. There's quite a lot for division. Split. Any more?
Group them together.
Group them together. Okay, group. Perhaps with the word group, another word is important. Equally. Yeah, group equally. Any more? Maybe one more. I think it's shared. Yeah, shared equally.
Shared, yeah.
Yeah, and the word equally is really important because it can be unequally shared as well. Then we have to be careful about that. Okay. So perhaps we move on. Anyone needs to stay on this page for a little while more?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, we'll move on. So let's try some questions in terms of forming expressions. All these are my questions. So we'll try them first before we move on to the past year exam questions, which might be a bit harder. Let's see. So find the sum of 5 and 3a. How will we form an expression regarding that? So maybe we can talk about the clue first. Is there a clue here that tells you what we need to do?
The sum of.
Sum of, right? Yeah. So in particular, we want to focus on the word sum. So how can we form an expression?
So you just take 5 plus 3a.
Yes, 5 plus 3a. I have a question. Can we do it the other way around?
No,
Can
you
we put
can't.
down 3a plus 5?
3a plus 5. Yeah,
Can or
I
not?
think.
You think? Not so sure. How about the rest? What do you think? Can we do it the other way? You think can? Okay. Anyone else? Kaden and Jordan, what do you think? Can we switch it around? Shayna, any thoughts?
No.
Cannot, huh? Okay. Why not? Let's put in a value to a. Okay, so if you're not so sure, we can always put in a value to a. Let's take a to be, say, 1. Okay, a simple number. So what would 3a be? Let's say a is 1. So
You just take 3 times
a
1.
would be 3 times 1, which is 3. Yeah? Okay, now let's work out what is 5 plus 3a. So if 5 plus 3a and a is equals to 1, that would make 5 plus 3 times 1, isn't it? So 5 plus 3 gives us
8.
8. Now, if we were to switch it around, let's have 3a plus 5. Then if we substitute in, we get something like that. 3 plus 5? 8.
3 plus 8.
Yeah, so you realize, okay, it gives us the same answer. So can we turn the answer around, the expression
can.
around? We can. Yeah, we can. Yeah. So we could write it the other way. Okay, so just take note of that. Answer-wise, 5 plus 3a or 3a plus 5. Now, how about second question? Let's look at the clue first. Which words are important here?
Do we need to put the bracket for 5 plus 3a?
No need. No need.
Okay.
Okay, talking about brackets, later we can address this after question 7. Let me just put a note here first. Brackets, when to place them. Okay, so let's take a look at question 2 first. Put together 7b and 1. So what is the word or what are the words that stand out?
Put together means
Put
add.
together, yes, means add. So what would our answer be?
7b plus 1
7b plus 1, or we could write down as 1 plus
plus 7b.
7b. Okay, good. Now, third question, subtract 13 from 4c.
Oh,
So,
wait, so is it 13 minus 4c?
No, you take 4c minus 13.
okay, so which one is correct?
Which one?
Subtract 13 from 4c. So for subtraction, it's a bit tricky. We need to know where's the reference point. Where's the start point? The start point always comes from what is mentioned. So from where? From 4c. So 4c is your start point. This is your reference point. Okay, so answer should be 4c, take away 13. So just take note about subtraction. Now, any idea if we can switch it around? Can it be 13 minus 4c? Since we know reference point is 4c.
Cannot.
Cannot, huh? Okay, so be really careful about this. Okay, there's only one answer for number 3. Now, number 4, we have the words take away. So take away means plus, minus, times, or divide.
Take away means subtract.
Subtract. Okay, and where is our reference point now? So from
From 3.
3. So we start from the number 3. Answer is?
3 minus 5a.
Yes, 3 minus 5a. We got it. Question 5. So we have the word product. Find the product of 2 and a. That would mean multiplication. How do we multiply 2 and a?
Or Rebecca, I have a question for 5a, right? Can you write it in capital letter?
5a. You mean, okay, 2 and the capital letter A, is it?
Yeah.
If we look at the question, what does it give us?
Yeah, just lowercase a.
Yes, lowercase, right? So we can't change it.
Okay.
It has to be lowercase. So working wise, 2 times a equals to 2a. Question. I always like to ask questions. Can we write it the other way around? Can we
Yeah, you
put it
can.
as a2?
No, you can't.
Why not?
You can, because the number always comes in front before the letter.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, this is because of convention. Convention means what mathematicians and scientists usually, how they usually write it. It's always the number first, then letters. And even if there are different letters, is it in a certain order? Yes, it's always in alphabetical order. Okay, so the letter that comes first is always written first. So we don't write it as A2, it's 2A. Okay, next one. Multiply 4 by 5c. So we have the word multiply here that stands out. So we have 4 times 5c. How will we work this answer out?
4 times 5c.
4 times 5c. Okay, so in order to simplify this, you realize that there are two numbers here. We multiply the numbers. So
Wait,
we,
is it 20c?
yes. So after multiplying the numbers, we get 20. And the letters, we are just left with C. We put the C next to it. So it's 20C. And the last question, split. Split 6C into 5 parts. So split means we have to divide.
You take 6c divide by 5.
6c divided by 5. But we can't write an algebraic expression with the division sign. So how
You have
can
to
we
like fraction.
fraction? Yes.
6c, then Then
divide.
you use 5 as the denominator.
Yes,
6c over 5.
over 5. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Looks like understanding wise, yeah, is there? Any questions so far?
No.
No, okay, now we are going to address Sharon's question about brackets. Okay, when do we even put brackets? Is it necessary? So let's say,
Based on the
sorry? We use brackets usually when there is a unit involved. Okay, so for example, when we have an answer, let me take the answer from question 2, okay? Question 2, our answer is 7b plus 1. And let's say this answer is part of a question of a word problem.
Okay.
Perhaps 7b plus 1 is with regards to number of stems, okay? So if I were to put down stems here, what happens is that without the bracket, the stems belongs to just the number before it and not the 7b. So if I want to write my answer such that my teacher knows stems belongs to 7b and 1, I have to group that expression.
So you put a bracket
That's
for
right.
the
So
teacher
I
to
will-
understand.
Yes, so I will put a bracket and stems after that so that the teacher knows this entire answer here belongs to the number of stems.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the use of brackets. And it is it is best when you use brackets when there are more than one term. Okay, what do I mean by more than one term? So this is one term. This is another term. Okay, so when it's separated, two terms are separated by, say, addition or subtraction, we group them together by putting brackets. However, however, if we were to have just one term as the answer, let's say in terms of stems, we have 7b stems. There's no plus or minus something. We don't need to put a bracket because this 7b already refers to the number of stems. Okay, so hope this clarifies.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at past year exam questions now. Okay, so hopefully I get to hear from more of you. These are the marks that are given, allocated, and the exact words from the exam papers. Okay, so let's see. A, add 3x to 4. And how do we write the algebraic expression for that?
3x plus 4.
3x plus 4. Okay, so in this case, our clue here comes from the word add. So it will be 3x plus 4. That's all. If you want to write 4 plus 3x, that is also fine. How about question B? Divide 5 by the square of A. Let's take note of the word divide. And square of A. Okay, what's square of A?
So you just 5 out of a square.
Yeah, so square of A, you will have to identify as A square. Yeah, everyone there with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's divide 5 by, it'll be 5 divide by or 5 out of A square. And for the third one, sum of x and 3. This one should be straightforward. Can anyone give me both answers?
For C, you just take x plus 3. Then D, you take 7q minus 6.
Yes. Okay, for C, is there an alternative answer?
No.
Yeah, because of the word sum, we could actually turn it around. We could
3
switch
plus
it.
x.
Yes, 3 plus x, yeah? Okay, and for D, yes, you got it right. That will be 7q minus 6 because of the word subtract. It's always good if we could underline clues, like for example, you underline the word from, then the term that comes after from is where we start first. If not, sometimes we get confused. Okay, let me know if when you are done writing down the answers or copying any notes, then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Yes?
No, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Okay.
Why
Yes?
you have to be so fast on it?
Why? Sorry?
You are too fast for me.
I'm a bit too fast, is it? Okay. Yeah, you will get to see the entire recording later. Yeah. So not to worry, you will be able, you can listen to this recording again and again and again, and you can pause at any time to copy the answers later. No worries. It's just that I hope in this 1 hour I can cover as much as I can.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So
Done.
okay, you do not need to copy the question. You need the paper perhaps to jot down your working, so that if there's anything, you know the answer straight away. And if there's any question, you can also note it down or ask me straight away. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on. So let's see the next one. Product of 2a and b. So we
So
come
you
to
just you take 2a times b.
yes, we have 2a times b. Okay, I don't think we have come across a question like that where we need to multiply two different letters. How can we do that?
You just take 2a as normal, 2a, then you write it, then you add b at behind.
Let b behind. Yes, you're right. In fact, when it's just b, there is a number that comes before that. I'm not sure whether any of you are aware. Instead of b, there's actually an invisible one there. Okay, so I'm just going to write it down to show you how we work this out. As I was telling you earlier, we multiply the numbers first, right? So 2 times 1, yes, that's 2. And if we were to look at the letters that are left, we have A and we have B.
Sure.
Yes,
Then the things that I thought 1B is B only.
yes, 1B is B. I just wanted to show that there is an invisible one that is not written down. Yeah, but we should know at the back of our minds. Okay, so if we were to put down the A and B, we have to put it in alphabetical order. So yeah, like what Sharon said, is it's 2A, B. If we write our answer as 2BA, will we be marked as wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, you will.
Yes. Because B doesn't go after A.
Okay, by right, you will not get it wrong. It's actually still the correct answer. However, it can be difficult to check, especially when we have, when you move on to Sec 2, you may come across more than one term and you need to add them together. And sometimes when you jump out all the letters, it gets confusing. So let's just, it may be good to start right from Sec 1, that if we order the letters, it's in alphabetical order. Yeah. So if you do jumble up because of carelessness and all, you should get the correct answer. It should be accepted.
Why? But then the things that I thought is following the ABC rule.
Yes, that would be best. That would be best. Okay, let me show you why it is still correct. So let's say we wonder whether 2AB is equals to 2BA. Okay, let's give numbers for A and B, like what we did just now in the example. So let's say if we let A be equals to I won't use 1, I will use another number. Let's say I let A be 3 and I let B be 4. Okay, so if I were to look at my first expression, 2AB would be 2 times 3 times 4.
Sure, but then the things that it also
Mm.
doesn't matter, right? Because also both of them will just give the same answer, right?
Yes, it does not matter. Yes. So this will give 24. And if we switch it around, the other way, 2BA, it will be 2 times 4 times 3, which is also 24. So both are accepted. It's just that it's definitely better to put 2AB.
Okay.
Yeah. So this question has got 2 answers. Okay, now move on. Question F now. So subtract 10 from x.
You take x minus 10.
X minus 10. Next one. Divide the sum of 2 and n by m. Wow. Okay, so now we have the words divide and sum.
First, you take 2 plus n.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get the expression 2 plus n.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just divide it by m, like out of m.
Okay, so the sequence is very important. We have to do the sum first. So
Wait,
this part.
sure. So
Yes, Shayna. Okay, so we
wait, sure. So is it x minus 10, right?
x minus 10, you're right.
Okay.
Okay. So for G, we have to find the sum first. Okay, so because we divide the sum of 2 and n by n, the question actually looks like that. We know that there's division, but what's in the numerator? Sum of 2 and n. Denominator is m. So if we were to write it down in letters, it would straight away be 2 plus n, or we could write n plus 2 over n. G is a bit tricky. Yeah. Same for H, we have two words that we need to be careful about. 9m plus n, then multiply by p. Okay, so which is the first step that we need to look into? Because of the word then, means
You have to
that,
take 9m plus n, then
Yeah.
you multiply by p.
yes.
Does that mean that, for example, if the sentence says 9m like minus n, then you multiply by p, should we like follow by the sentence structure? Or like can we do the opposite?
Because of the word then means we have to do the first part first.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a sequence. So we add 9m plus with n. So that will be 9m plus n. Okay, then means we take this entire portion here to multiply by p. So what will our answer be?
9m plus n, then you multiply by p.
Okay, and we have learned in school that we probably won't put the multiplication sign down. So how do we express this?
Wait, sure. So we are ending class at 10, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so how will we express this if we are not going to be putting down the multiplication sign?
P bracket 9m plus n close bracket.
9, sorry, one more time, Kaden.
P close
P,
no,
okay,
P
okay, open bracket.
9m plus n.
Plus n.
You're right. Good, well done. You bring the P to the front, yes. If not, you will look a bit awkward. Okay. Anyone has difficulty putting the two terms together without the multiplication sign? No? Okay, great. Could I just ask at this point, right, if any of your teachers did teach you how to do something called expansion? Like, for example, to take away the brackets.
Well, not really.
Not really. Okay, never mind. We will leave that to Sec 2. Okay, so yeah. So this would be the answer. Good as it is. All right. Could I move on?
Yeah.
Can, yeah. Shayna, done? Okay, let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Okay, we might need to hurry up a little because there are quite a number of questions. Okay, now we move on to substitution. We're given A minus 2, B 3, C equals to 1. Let's find the following. Yeah, so for question A,
But then the thing is that for the A, right, so is -2, right?
yes. So it will be best if, because of the negative sign, let's put a bracket over A. A, then plus B. So B, we can just put 3 as it is because there's no negative sign. C will be just 1. So we could input everything into the calculator. Okay,
Alan,
and
ini turun lah.
answer will be 2.
2 plus 3.
Okay, we'll move on to B. So B, we have a fraction A out of B plus C. Let's just put the entire value of A in the numerator. So it will have a -2 out of 3 plus 1. Okay, anyone has difficulty doing the substitution? Okay, so at this point, after the substitution, we could rearrange the first fraction. We could remove the bracket because it will not, the -2 is not actually affected by the bracket, right? And we could bring out the minus sign. So it will look something like that, -2 out of 3 plus 1. And we could work out the answer using either calculator or mental calculation. Yes?
But then the teacher also right for A, right? Why is the answer 2?
Answer is 2. Okay, so why is it 2? Because the first term here is -2. Okay, so if we were to take this, if I were to remove the bracket, we have to consider what is outside that -2, right? That sign. If there's nothing, it's always a plus sign. Okay. And if you have learned in the earlier topics on integers, when we have a plus, a negative number, we remove the bracket, and what happens is that it'll be a -2. I'm not sure whether you remember that from an earlier topic. Yeah, with a plus together with a minus sign, it's always minus. Okay, then from here, you might find that, wow, it's so difficult to have a -2 in front. Why not? Okay, you have two choices. One is to use calculator. You could calculate the answer straight away. Okay, another is that we could work this from left to right. So what is -2 plus 3? If we were to draw a number line,
1.
how do you get 1?
It's 3 minus 2.
Yeah, it's 3 minus 2. Yes, that's one way we can look at it. Or we could start at -2, and if we add 3, it would be 1, 2, 3. 3 units. So we'll end up at 1. So answer 1 plus 1, which is 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I'll move on to the next one. Due to time, yeah, we're really having quite a number of questions left. Yeah. So feel free to print screen if you need to.
Means what?
Okay, on your laptop, there might be this sign called print screen.
I don't see anything.
You don't see a print screen sign. You can just do a screenshot or refer to the recording later. Yeah. Okay. Because later part of the last part of the session, I'm covering word problems, which I think is really crucial. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for understanding. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Now, this is another question. A is 5, B is -2, and C is 4. You can see the questions are harder.
Yeah, but then the thing is that, can I don't copy down?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
You can refer to it later. Okay, so A, I'm going to substitute the number 5 plus 0.5. Now B, I'm going to put down -2, -4, and I put down bracket C. Okay. So from here, well, we could use the calculator to get our answer straight away. If you would like to work it out. This is what we get. Okay, so our answer will be -12. So you can see that this question is a bit more tricky compared to the earlier ones. It's 2 marks awarded. Okay, and for B, we have 2C minus 3A out of -2B. Let's substitute everything. So the first step of substitution, actually, we don't need to really consider the question too much. We just put in whatever that we see over there first before we see how we need to work out the next part of the question. Okay, so first step is always easy. We just put in the value wholesale. Then we work out bit by bit. Okay, so the first part we have 2 and 4. So 2 times 4, we could work this out. 3 times 5, we could work this out, right? Yeah, so that'll be 8 minus 15. Okay, denominator a bit tricky. Negative 2 times negative 2. So we have a minus and a minus. Do we end up
You get a positive.
positive, right? Yeah, positive 4. Okay, we don't need to put the positive sign, we just put down 4. So let's work out the numerator. 8 take away
minus
15,
7.
minus 7 out of 4. So from here, we could work out our answer.
But then at least I haven't eaten breakfast since this morning.
Okay, you can get to eat breakfast soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll take a look at word problems now. Okay, so, okay, Annie is X minus 5 years old. Her brother Benny is X years old. Then,
Then also, what's the meaning of simplify and algebra expression?
okay, let me explain later. Let's take a look at the question first. Yeah. So the mother's age is
X5.
3 times Benny's age. So write a simplified algebraic expression in terms of X for their total ages. Now, what is meant by simplified algebraic expression? That means an expression that perhaps has terms that are similar being put together. Like for example, let's not look at the question yet. If you want to look at something simplified, for example, if we have something like 2 times A, we cannot write this as our answer. But a simplified expression would be 2A. This is just an example. Okay, so we go into the question now.
But then this is also right. So their mother's age is X times 3, right?
Yes.
It's already open,
yeah, okay. Let's consider all their ages first. We just put it down. So Annie will be X minus 5 years old.
Yeah.
Benny is also given. So I'm going to put it down as X years old. And mother, 3 times Benny's age.
Yes.
So if it's 3 times, it would be,
yes. No, it's 3x.
Times, right? Yeah, X times
3x.
3 times X. Yeah, I think Sharon also mentioned. So 3X. So for their total ages, we have to put them together.
So X
we have X minus 5
times
plus total we have to add, isn't it?
X minus 5 plus X. X, then you take 3X plus 3X.
3X, that's right. Okay, now this is not simplified because you realize, hey, there are some terms I can put together, right? So that's why the question mentions simplified algebraic expression. Okay, now next step, we remove the bracket first because we realize that if I remove the bracket, it doesn't affect my answer. So,
but can we just like write it like you just take 3x plus another x plus another x, so you'll get 5x minus 5. If I'm not wrong.
We need to, yes, that is the one that is the part that the question demands from you. Okay, so you realize, hey, these are terms that we can add together. So in maths, right, these are called like terms. We put them together. By combining, okay? So let me show you step by step. Okay, and this is the part we can combine.
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes to breakfast. So this is our answer. Yeah. We combine the first 3 terms together. And of course, this question talks about age, right? So we could bracket it and put down years.
But then this is my father has COVID.
Must take care. Okay, so this is the final answer. We cannot simplify anymore. We cannot add the 5x to the 5 because they are not like terms.
Sure. But then
Okay.
can I take a picture of this?
Sure, I think you should. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I move on to the next one. Let's see. At a fruit store, each apple costs X dollars, each orange costs Y dollars. Okay, now we want to write down in terms of X and Y an expression for one apple and one orange. So let's put down what we have first. Each apple, each means how many? One, right? So one apple costs X dollars. One orange cost Y dollars. If the question asks you for total cost, one apple, one orange, how can we find that cost? Realize that we are given individual cost
Plus Y.
Yes, it's actually X plus Y. And we have a unit here. So we put a dollar sign, isn't it? So where can we put our dollar sign?
Oh, it's getting so bad. Since this morning, I've been like.
Okay, so if I put the dollar sign here, the dollar sign will only be applied to the X and not Y. How can I apply it to both letters? And this is where, again, we put our bracket. So don't forget brackets.
What do you mean, Charles?
Okay, because the X plus Y, both are in dollars, right? I need to put the bracket in front after the dollar sign to show that the dollar sign applies to both letters. Yeah. Okay, now I move on to the next one. Now we want to find the total cost of 12 apples and 15 oranges. So let's see, if one apple costs X dollars, how about 12 apples?
12x.
Yeah, 12x. And how about 15 oranges?
Sure. But then this my computer, he's just lagging so bad right now.
Oh, okay. No worries. You can come back to the recording later. Yeah, you can access it again. Tonight I'll upload this. Yeah, so 15 oranges, what would the cost be? If one orange is,
15y.
yeah, that would be 15y. So, okay, and to find the total cost,
1 minute.
that would be,
Would be
15y plus x, 12x.
okay, so I'll put down 15y plus 12x. Is there a way that we can combine it under the same dollar sign? We can, right? You can put dollar sign and bracket with the answer there.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay. I realized I put my y first before my x. That's also fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be a 2-mark question. Let's take a look at the next few questions. I think I might go into a slight overrun. So if you are able to stay on, feel free to do so. I might take about another 10 more minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if not, you could log off first and you could access the recording later. Okay, now Shahil donated a total of 300 erasers to an orphanage. There are M boys and N girls in the orphanage. Express the number of erasers each child receives in terms of M and N. Oh, wow, quite a lot of information here.
It's very nice of him.
Yes, and that's a lot. So we want to find the number of erasers that one child gets. Perhaps how we can start this question is, let's find the total number of people, number of children in the orphanage.
You take m plus n, then you divide by 300 erasers.
M plus N. Okay, so this 300 erasers is going to split among these children. So is it 300 divided by M plus N, or is it M plus N divided by 300?
N plus n divided by 300.
What is to be shared here? Do we share the children or do we share the erasers?
The erasers.
We share
You share the
erasers, right?
erasers.
Yeah. So we cannot
So
share the children.
So you're supposed to take 300 divided by m.
Yes. So I put down we share the erasers. Okay, so number of erasers each child receives. That will be 300. Divide by the total number. This is where I'm going to put bracket again because I don't want to split the m from the n. So it'll be 300 out of m plus n. So for questions like this, we have to always ask ourselves, when it's division, what is to be shared? The item to be shared is always in the numerator. If not, we are finding something else. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. We have 2 more questions. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Now we are moving on to last 2 questions of number patterns. So for number patterns, we deal with terms, we deal with sequences. So here tells you that the first 4 terms of a sequence are 2, 5, 8, and 11. So how do we find the next term of the sequence? So you have to identify the pattern. Anyone?
Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3.
Yeah, we plus 3, right? And is it consistent?
Yeah, it's consistent.
Okay, so the next one would be 11 plus 3.
So you can just create a formula which you take 2 times 3 minus 1. Then you just take the number times 3, then you minus 1 again.
That's one way. That's one way. Yeah. However, for a 1-mark question, we might not want to create a general formula. Yeah. If the question asks us to find the 8th term, we might actually take less time if we continue to add on. Yeah. So Sharon, if you want to find general term, that's great. In fact, that is covered under NA Express. It's not covered under NT. So if you already mastered that, maybe from primary school, is it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay. Keep that in mind because I think it will come in helpful.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm just going to add on. So we have 2, 5, 8, 11, 14. We are at our 5th term now. So 6, 7, and 8th term. Now, how do we find this number? So how many times of 3 do we need to add? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Okay, so in order to find the answer where the question mark is, it will be 14 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That would be 23. So this will be the answer for the second question. Okay, and we move on to the next part where we talk about the nth term of another sequence, 3n minus 1. Now, when a question is phrased such that they say it's another sequence, that means question B is not related to question A. Yeah, it's not related. And they gave you the nth term. That means that if I want to consider this 3n minus 1 as the general term, yes, I could write it as Tn equals to 3n minus 1. Now, is there anyone who is not sure about what I'm writing? Like, how come, what is this Tn all about? Everyone knows what Tn is?
Yeah.
Okay, Tn basically refers to the term number. Okay, so let's say if I want to find my first term, then it would be T1. Yeah. Then every time I see the letter N, I will replace it with the number 1. So for example, this is how we make use of it. Now, question asks you to find the 46th term. So we are looking at T 46. And every time we see the letter N, we replace it by 46. So 3 times of 46, take away 1. So we have 138, take away 1, we get 137. This is our answer. In other words, this is substitution.
I have a question for just now. I made the formula, right? Can I use it over here?
For B, okay, for B, you can't use the formula because it already gave you, this is the formula.
Okay.
You can use it for A, part 1 and part 2,
part.
but not for B. Okay, moving on. Final question here. So consider the number sequence below, 1, 4, 7, 10. They want you to list down the next 2 terms of the sequence. So let's see. Looks like the numbers are increasing. And what's the rule?
3 plus 3 plus 3. So
Plus 3,
the next
okay.
the next two terms are 13 and 16.
13 and 16, okay. This one should be quite a giveaway. Now, next, given the general term. So it looks like they have given you this. This is the formula. We don't need to find any formula. How do we find the 99th term? That means we are looking at T what?
You take T times 99.
T
then you
99,
take
right?
equals to 3 times 99 minus 2.
Yes, yes. Okay, when we have a T and a small 99 at the bottom, okay, this is read as a T99 or term 99 rather than T times 99. So answer will be 297, take away 2, answer 295. Okay, so we come, thank you. So we come to the end of the session. Yeah, I would like to gather some feedback with regards to today's lesson. So if you could scan the QR code and fill out the feedback form, I could improve on the next one coming up. Okay, and in one of the questions in the feedback form is actually to ask whether you'll be keen for me to cover other topics in particular. So if you do come across roadblocks on a certain topic, maybe you might find area and parameter difficult, okay, or it could be integers, numbers. Do let me know so that when I plan for my next session, I'm able to cover that as well, and it'll be something that is useful to you. Yeah. So well, thank you everyone for attending the session. I'll be uploading the slides and all the workings onto the website with the link later. So feel free to access them. Yeah, thanks for participation. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
All the best.
Bye.
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 Bye.